Thank you for joining me. I believe that you know what this is. It is the live chat with Maiyegun, where we can interact just via the the comments. So you can ask me questions and I can share my view on them. So it is not like our regular conventional way of doing it. There is no phone call, but I wish there could be one. Maybe we can try the phone calls now, because at least this time we want to check on the Nigerians who are residing or living in these countries where we are currently experiencing a possible third world war, as it's been like dreaded for years. So Nigerian government is yet to make any pronouncements. Nigerian government is yet to make any arrangements, despite this news, this event that has been all over the news for days now. So you can join me. I am going to open the line. Yes, you can call the studio number. YouTube. So thank you for joining me. Thank you. There's something I want you to probably be listening to in the background while we get ready.
Over the past 36
That's a Trump.
hours, the United States and its partners have launched Operation Epic Fury, one of the largest, most complex, most overwhelming military offensives the world has ever seen. Nobody's seen anything like it. We have hit hundreds of targets in Iran, including Revolutionary Guard facilities, Iranian air defense systems. Just now it was announced that we knocked out 9 ships plus their naval building, all in a matter of literally minutes. Iran's formerly supreme leader, Ayatollah Khamenei, is dead. This wretched and vile man had the blood of hundreds and even thousands of Americans on his hands and was responsible for the slaughter of countless thousands of innocent people all across many countries. Last night, all over Iran, the voices of the Iranian people could be heard cheering and celebrating in the streets when his death was announced. The entire military command is gone as well, and many of them want to surrender into saving their lives. They want immunity. They're calling by the thousands. Combat operations continue at this time in full force, and they will continue until all of our objectives are achieved. We have very strong objectives. They could have done something 2 weeks ago, but they just couldn't get there. Earlier today, CENTCOM shared the news that 3 US military service members have been killed in action. As one nation, we grieve for the true American patriots who have made the ultimate sacrifice for our nation, even as we continue the righteous mission for which they gave their lives.
As a Trump, given his own updates.
Immense love and eternal gratitude to the families of the fallen. And sadly, there will likely be more. Before it ends, that's the way it is. Likely be more, but we'll do everything possible where that won't be the case. But
Thank
America
you.
will avenge their deaths and deliver the most punishing blow to the terrorists who have waged war against
That's
basically
Trump.
civilization. They have waged war against civilization itself. Our resolve, and likewise that of Israel, has never been stronger. America is now.
I'll come back to that. So welcome to the live chat with Maiyegun. So the first thing you should do as you are joining is to like the broadcast, okay? I think that thumb up is somewhere on your screen. You can use that, okay? And then share it. So the other thing you do when you join this conversation is to, sorry, hang on. Yeah, is that you can talk to me via the comments. So I'll be reacting to people's comments, your questions, and the rest of that, okay? So I may also put up a question and answer, just like a survey, something like that, like a poll on this screen, if it requires that. I know a lot of us have been reacting to the ongoing, war in the Middle East. And this is not just Iran and Israel. We are talking about other countries where you know that Nigerians frequent. For example, the UAE, that has also received several of Iran's rockets. So you have Nigerians all over these places, right? Kuwait, UAE, Bahrain, even Saudi Arabia, and all these countries that have received different rockets from Iran. And I believe Nigerians live there. I've seen videos of Nigerians who covered these airstrikes, this bombing and all that. And many of them have been making comments like, no matter what happened, they would not be going anywhere. But I just kind of feel like they may not be representing the whole population of Nigerians in this country. So I have not heard from the government of Nigeria, as it should be. Many countries are currently evacuating their citizens from these countries, right? Back to their own countries. But Nigerian government, the only reaction that came from the Nigerian government about this whole thing was what they put out about 2 days ago. And this was before Ayatollah Ali Khamenei was killed, okay? So, yeah, you can phone in. Seriously, I am going to leave that line open. For those of you who have the number, the studio number, you can do that too. And we can all have this general conversation, okay? Not just the comments. So Nigerian government put out a statement saying all sides should try to maintain sort of like a peace. That's what the only statement. This was before Ayatollah was killed. And since the killing of Ayatollah and some of the leadership of the IRG, okay, in Iran, many other people have been killed. There's a record that, apart from this leadership of Iran that got killed, right, there are civilian casualties too. The number is quite unconfirmed, but they are like in their hundreds. So Nigerians lives in Iran too. There are Nigerians who are living in Iran. There are Nigerians who are living in Kuwait, working in all these countries. So Nigeria seems to be a bit, as usual, like playing the hide and seek, hoping that at the end of the day, this whole thing will pass and they don't have to be held responsible, or when it is too late. The other question is that even if they decided to evacuate Nigerians from all these countries, like how many Nigerians would want to really go back? This is not to excuse them all. That's why I said the other thing. So you can share your own view about this. And if you are living in any of these countries, you know what I mean? You can also share your own personal experience, how much of information have been like shared through the Nigerian embassy in these countries, right? I know Polapenga, who is one of the members of this temple.
Hello, my dear.
My brother. And who is this? Is this Polapenga?
Maiyegun Dinara.
Yes, sir. I can hear you. You need to move away from the.
Innocent of it.
Oh, it's innocent to be now innocent. Give me a sec, right?
Hello?
You need to tune down the broadcast
Yeah, I'm moving away
behind.
from my
Yeah, you need to
from
mute
my
that.
set.
Hmm?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. You and I are already live.
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
I can't hear anything.
No, I can't. Me, I can hear you.
Hello?
Okay. So I don't know what happened to the line, but I can actually hear you, and everybody can hear you too. Okay. We'll keep trying and see how that goes. Normally these all things were like connected all together, but I am now using the phone simply because I'm told to keep making use of this format in order to manage to beat their algorithm discrimination. You get what I mean? So you can try to the number to call. Hang on, I don't know the studio number offhand. Okay, so I'll tell you now. So if you are calling from outside the UK, you had the +44. If you are calling within the UK, you just dial 77069, then 22321. That's the number, and it is a WhatsApp call only. Okay, don't try to call it directly. Okay, right. Like I said, the usual is I will put that out, and then hang on. I've got Temitope Abubakar. Maiyegun, that is the president of US being accountable, you're right, to the Americans. So we are talking about Nigeria now, okay? Like, there's actually like escalation of war going on in the Middle East right now. With the killings of the leadership of Iran in this fight, and with the promise made by President Donald Trump, okay, as well as his body in Israel, the Benjamin Netanyahu. So their promise is that they are not actually going to leave this halfway, okay? They are going to conclude the annihilation of Islamic Revolutionary Guard of Iran. Mind you, the Iranians themselves are saying, the Iranian government and all of them, they are saying they will need revenge. They have to revenge what America and Israel just did. So whether it is empty threats or whatever, nobody knows how this is going to, probably like a pan out. You get? So the American government says there are Iranians in the Iranian army and others who are willing to surrender their weapons. All of this right now, there are propagandas versus propaganda. There are visibility. There are verified, damages on all sides that can tell you that it can only escalate. In the midst of all of this, you have hundreds of thousands of Nigerians who are going to be trapped in all of this, as they are reporting, the victims of this war. They are likely going to count Nigerians who become victims as just minority, inconsequential. So this is where the government comes in, where the value is placed on their own citizens. Nigeria has failed to send ambassadors, right, to all of these embassies abroad. So I don't want to use that as probably, the reasons why the embassies are not functional, because they seem to still be functioning, right? So what is the government of Nigeria doing? Have you read any of their reaction? And if there is any, maybe it is just going to be now. I expect those who are like in their diplomatic space to be telling us right now, giving Nigerians instructions, Nigerians in all this part of Middle East country, giving them instructions on how to get to safety. Donald Trump said everybody should stay indoor because bombs will keep dropping and dropping and dropping. So do you understand what that means, right? We have had reports where schools, hospitals have been like bombed in this whole thing in Iran, in other places, airports. We have had reports where nobody can say, oh, they can account for Nigerians in all of this. right? So here, I am so sorry if you have been trying to actually call through and somehow it's proving hard, right? Just keep trying. Okay. Thank you. Collins or Noah. Baba Infidel. Exactly. So we have people working in all these places, hotels, airports, schools, hospitals, and other places, right? We have had reports, and these are likely places you are going to find Nigerians. So it will actually make a lot of sense if I get to receive one or two calls from Nigerians who are currently in any of these countries. You know, the report initially was that Iran was bombing the military bases in all these regions, okay? But it is quite more than that, right? So the number of people or the number of casualties right now, nobody really knows. But they have been, you know, flaunting different numbers here and there. Nobody can verify a lot of them, okay? But Nigeria embassy in all these countries, what exactly? Just reason, you know, what exactly are they currently doing to help get those Nigerians to safety? I know some will say, nah, that useless. No, 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 no. I mean, I don't think that's quite a, you know, an excuse, right? Because people should actually start talking about that. But usually it is always going to be when it is like too late, you know, like it is too late. Then you will start seeing Abiku Dagboru or Abike Dabiri, right? You start seeing her making all these pretensions, and you are going to see earpiece. Earpiece will begin some late time, or what do you call it, flights, and they'll put all of that in their propaganda machine and all that. So it's crazy, isn't it? Again, sorry if I missed that your call. I'm doing my best to keep it connected, okay? Please, sorry. So, right. So let's see another one. Again, naturally, I am supposed to be reacting to your comments, and sometimes if you probably pose a question, I can react to that too. Ruben, Maiyegun, there are a lot of Nigerians doing shagala in Dubai and all these Arab countries, and I really feel for them. That's what I'm saying. You know, we have had reports of how many of them have been so ill-treated. They've been treated so badly. They have been treated like slaves. We have had reports like that. And in times of emergency, they seem to be the last to be considered. We have had, you know, recorded reports of similar things, right? So, I mean, it's just so hard, right? That there will always be that time that you will be reminded of the kind of the failed leadership in your country that somehow rendered your supposed citizenship and humanity to be like a second class, third class, even no class at all in the Committee of Nations, right? It's actually so sad. You know, when it happened in Ukraine, we all saw how that played out, how Nigerians had to be running to the borders to be able to like escape and become refugees. And it was the same way it was like when it was too late. Hmm? I don't get you, Samuel Unwafo. How is that related to this conversation? So let's take another one there. I have Eukarya, yeah? Ibekwe. I have Nigerian government taking care of their citizens in Nigeria, not to talk of those outside Nigeria. That's the point. And it is sad because a lot of people actually will be surprised whenever they see the government do what it's meant to really do, right? you know. So it can be shocking because they are expected not to do anything. Because those in Nigeria, how much have they done to protect them or provide for them? So I get it. But sometimes I want this kind of conversation simply because right now I am in a place far away from what they are doing to Nigerians in Nigeria, as well as what Nigerians are experiencing in these troubled regions or part of the world. I am also in one part of the world that is maybe currently not having this physical war combat. So the reason why I love talking about things like this is just so you know that it could actually be where you are currently very much comfortable, something that you probably never really envisaged could happen to you, or in a place where you are living and then boom, the world happened. And that's that's the moment you are reminded that you are Nigerian, and therefore you don't really matter. You know what I mean? And then you probably will be reminded of how much closer or connected we are to the rods in Nigeria, right? Despite the fact that we might think we are far away from it. So there's always that moment, the moment of where you have. So it is happening now. So that's why I'm pretty much like trying to put myself in that kind of a situation. Like, okay, the UK is now fighting war in Europe, right? And then you have hundreds of thousands of Nigerian families here who have to depend basically on whatever the British government provides as the protection for them. So everybody will just be like, oh, I never believed that one day will come that I will become a refugee in the UK, and say, well, sometimes you don't really see it. So yeah, that's why we are kind of like putting that out, keep calling them out. It's quite important. But maybe not everybody will see it that way, because a lot of people have kind of like given up. Well, Benny, don't waste your time. So Charm, come on guys, why are we doing this? They haven't showed any responsibility towards those Nigerians affected by terrorism with the country. Then it's the people outside the country you want them to care for. So it's kind of like our fate signed, sealed, and we're just on our own. That's your position, Charm. Well, I think a lot of people probably would agree with you in that same position as well. So what happened? I mean, what should happen? What should happen next? Right? Consider ourselves as stateless. We should begin to possibly pull ourselves from the illusion of safety abroad now, because it seemed to be, if things should just turn southward, then it's a lose-lose situation for us. So when I say it's time we begin to pull ourselves from that illusion of safety, right? It simply means that if our fate is sealed, signed by those who don't give a damn about us, we watch them do it to those who are meant to be our people inside Nigeria. Now, if you think you have escaped what it is in Nigeria, then if considering the situation that some of our supposed people are facing in these Middle Eastern regions, right, or countries right now, then it means that going abroad or Japa in the long run is going to be counterproductive, right? One, by the time you decided to finally Japada, you end up probably meeting even worse than what you left when you left decades ago, 2, 3, or maybe 4 decades ago, since everybody has submitted to the will and the order of these career criminals, right? Or a lot of us will pull ourselves back early enough that if there's anywhere that our fight is really going to count, it's going to be back in that same Nigeria. Because if we have been condemned to be classless and of no class in the Committee of All Nations, and if we run into, which mostly is not by our own making or our own choosing, right? So if we run into this kind of world war, threat of world war between countries bombing themselves, everybody should just wait and either die there or hope that you don't die there, because there is nobody coming for you. So what is the point of that japa in the long run then? So we would rather just begin to tell ourselves that whatever it is that we desire about that contraption, we would have to do them ourselves, especially those of us in the diaspora. Think about that. Nobody is going to do it. And if where we thought we provide safety, prosperity, and all of that stuff becomes places that we can, we begin to fight for our life to even stay alive, that's the moment you are going to have to go back to the contraption that you initially japa from. And then the problem probably must have tripled, quadrupled, and all that, right? And so I don't know how to put it better, but I hope you actually get what I'm saying. So if you want things to happen in that place, simply because we all know what is right to, what is the right thing to do, then we should probably stop expecting them to do it. And we should begin to actually put into our own plan right now to go do them ourselves, whatever you think is right. And then you find the like mind, people of like minds that would then be like, get involved. It's a tough one, isn't it? But maybe not that tough. So let me read another few ones. Okereke, Chukwemeka. Right. Abiku Dagboru is yet to say anything of significance, and she is not the government, even though the side also that they opened for are called NIDCOM, Nigerians in Diaspora Commission. That's just a side also that they opened for her. And they've been very helpful to many of Nigerians who have received their evacuation support. Sure, you get, but at the same time, Abeku Dagboru is just the poster girl for something that must be approved by those constitutionally empowered to do that, government agencies. Do you get that now? So until they find a means of, okay, yeah, can you? But I actually expected them to start before evacuation or anything at all. I am talking about the governments of Nigeria, the embassies of Nigeria in these countries, right? To actually begin to make public, security advice, safety advices, and all of that, and giving out numbers to the public, Nigerians in this country, and say, you need to call this number, you need to call this number if you need help, if you need health support, if you know what I mean, like other countries are currently doing. When the Americans went to take Maduro in when they went to take Maduro, there's this couple, a Nigerian guy and his a Canadian wife. So they were supposed to go to the holiday together in that Mexico. However, he couldn't go for some reason, and then that was when the invasion happened, and all these cartels, all of them were like all out. Baba, the man said, Canadian embassy in Mexico contacted the wife from wherever she was in the country. They evacuated her, and they turned her back to Canada before things got like out of hand. And she wasn't the only one. They did for so many other people who wanted to, or at least reported their safety. That's what I'm talking about. These are just not hard. That's what you have these foreign missions, embassies for. They are there because of your citizens in that country, as well as because of your bilateral business arrangement between these countries. Do you get that now? Embassy. That's what it is. Well, right now, I haven't really seen anything. I have combed the internet so much that I felt like maybe I could add we can add our own voice and see if they can do something before it finally gets out of hand. But a lot of you believes that that's like too out of the way, right? Yeah. So I have a house of comforts. What is your position? I hope American government will remember the innocent people in Nigeria and save us from bad governments. America is not going to save you from bad governments. I want to explain that to you. I actually believe you know that yourself, right? America would only maybe take advantage of a revolution that they considered plausible, for their own interest. And they will also support it only if the guy in charge of your country is denying them access to whatever they wanted in that country. So this is why America can save any of us. But can America try to push the hand of Nigerian government to do some certain things? Yes and no. Because sometimes, like I said, the interest of America is America. It is America first. So, if the government of Nigeria, for example, the one that you call the bad government, if the government of Nigeria is to become a bad government, a dictator, rigging election to the Americans, it must have been because the government have decided to cut ties with them. And even at that, America still can't really help us. Yeah. So what America can do is to help fuel your anger, tailor it in a way that they can look for a replacement for that government, and then kick them out and get what they want and leave you, leave the government and yourselves to go and deal with yourself after that revolution. So it's crazy. So America won't help. The real thing is that people need to organize, mobilize, sensitize, and then build an agenda. What is the agenda? Do you want this one Nigeria as it is? Do you have a different idea of how these conjectures and all of that could be put to order? That is when you form your agenda. You cannot save Nigeria from kicking out a group of criminals operating with the most criminal constitution ever in the history of mankind, and then replace them with another set of crook to keep operating that same system. No. So that it takes a lot, but it is not impossible. Once you begin to have people, smart people from all sides, who have decided that, you know what, we don't want this current Nigeria anymore. We don't want this one. So what do you want? Yeah. Then you present it to other people and say, well, why can't we just go our separate ways? So everybody can go do whatever they think is right to run a country of theirs. Or better still, maybe form a confederation whereby everybody owns and controls their own autonomous regions, free from the center, a weak center. Something that shall let everybody do their own thinking as agreed. not this wuru to the answer. We are one Nigeria, unity beggars. Do you get me now? So it takes a series of events to arrive at that, you know. But people want a quick solution now. Somebody should come and just put knife and cut everybody out and yeah, everybody, yeah, you go this way. I don't think that's how it's gonna work. And if we really want things to be what we want it to be, then we need to get to work now. Sensitize, organize, which is like sensitize, organize, mobilize, and all of that. From your agenda, people of like minds. Let people talk about how they want things to be, but you can't talk about how you want things to be if you do not get yourselves to neutralize those who controls the levels of power. Now, they will do anything and everything. But you should have people who have different mindsets of what a country should be like. We don't, hear me out, we don't have to break Nigeria straight away. Do you get that now? So the idea of break it up to save lives, it, literally means let everyone, as it was in the beginning, let everybody go back to where they come from. In a country where regions have their own different goals and agendas for their own people, where regions develop according to their own pace and capabilities. Do you get what I mean? But a country still exists. We have that in the UK. I have given these examples many times. We have it in the UK that colonized and gave independence to Nigeria. We have 4 countries. The biggest of these 4 regions is England. Then you have Scotland, which is where I am living. Then you have Wales. Then you have Northern Ireland. Okay. United Kingdom operates what is called the unwritten constitution. UK doesn't have this book of constitution like you have them in Nigeria. But they have this agreed kind of like constitutional agreement whereby these regions are autonomous. Scotland has autonomy, Wales has, Northern Ireland, they have theirs. England, the bigger body, the big elephant in the room, right? Still gives respect up to tomorrow. The respect that has been in place for more than 200 years. And that is, Scotland is among the equals in the United Kingdom. Do you understand? So why can't we have that in Nigeria? Criminal politicians from 1967 to date have been like the colonial masters did, right? They have been drawing different lines. They call them borders, local government, states, this, that. They have been marking the entire map the way they wanted to design it. They have been mixing brothers with strangers. They have been mixing people with different people. I call them states. They wanted them to coexist together. And it's been chaos, riot. Because people never agreed to them. You know? So I have someone, and that is a Confab King Builders Workshop. I have been following you for a long time. I really have a request. Make your request. Yeah. So it is not hard, but people will tell you that is impossible. The northern Nigeria will suffer. It doesn't make any sense. This is 2026. There is Konami Abikodemi oil rig. The one that Bokwari spent over $2 billion looking for oil in northern part of Nigeria. So they finally said they discovered oil in Konami Abikodemi, something like that, somewhere in Bauchi and Gombe. So they put this oil rig. They said they found oil, which according to them is over 500 billion liters. No, billion. You're not drama, big you know. Which means for the next 100 years, northern Nigeria will be producing crude oil. Maybe they will find other crude oil elsewhere. So the story of northern Nigeria will be poor if Nigeria break up. Some people will suffer. That is balderdash. That is nonsense. Nigerian house that Nigeria called the Nigerian embassy in London was a Western region consulate. Western Nigeria consulate in London. That was what that embassy that they later turned to, that Gowon came and turned to Nigerian embassy in London. In that same London, right? The Eastern region, they had their own embassy. Eastern region of Nigeria, they had their own embassy. In London, they had their own embassy. In Paris, they had their own embassy. In some of these major European, including Washington. Eastern region of Nigeria, not Nigeria, Eastern, Western region. And I bet Sardauna of Sokoto also had their own embassies in Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, Iran, and all these places too. Because those who aligned with their own foreign kind of like policy, each region approached them all over the place. People dealt with people they could deal with. That's what I'm talking about. This has happened before in Nigeria, so don't let anybody tell you something is impossible. It happened, it worked. Some people truncated it. Okay, fine. Now the one they have forced on all of us for more than 50 years now. How far? It has kept us more divided. We hated ourselves so much. The political class continue to fuel the hate. They continue to spread the division because, yeah, that's how they keep power. You know? Right. God bless you. Okay. Which is come from is telling us something. Thank you. Sorry about that too. I don't know if I've actually okay, I think I haven't. So I'm trying to read some of the comments. If I missed yours, please pardon me. Okay, let's agree that I've missed that. So this have been my own views for some time now. But because if that should happen, the real losers are the families who built their fortunes on the back of stealing Nigeria resources. And these are people who don't really care about the people who own these resources. So if Nigeria breaks up, where everybody have to like run their own affairs, use what they have for their own development, that automatically means the owners of Nigeria, they have lost Nigeria. The Nigeria as they know, as they know her, will no longer exist. That is what they dread. And yeah, that's what they dread. That is why they will give you different theories of why all these things can't work. How this Yoruba cannot stand the Sokos, the Jaws cannot stand the Shekiris, this one cannot stand, the Yorubas cannot stand this, the Jebus cannot stand the Egbas, the Oyos cannot stand the Ogbomoshos. They will begin to tell you that how the Hausas cannot stand the Kanuris, how the Fulanis cannot stand the Bagis. So it is this way they have projected of, they have kind of like placed Nigeria is the only way to keep everybody together. God damn it, man. We have been together without having to choke ourselves the way they are doing right now. Everybody was operating their own affair, developing. Some were investing in education, agriculture, infrastructure. Others are investing in different things that they felt was like important to their people at the time, and they were growing at their own pace until everything got scattered. Pulapenga, eh? Thank you, Jare. David Huyido, eh? Thank you. I am planning to actually cut all of that off. Yeah, I am planning to cut all of that off, but I want my daughter, Kofu, to touch it and see it and even make videos with it maybe for our TikTok. So, because when she was younger, I left Nigeria when she was very young. So she never really saw me with too much beard until like she's older now. So I want to keep it for her, then I'm going to shave everything off. Well, thank you. Here, hello, can you hear me? Hey, can you hear me? I'm going to try something. Can you hear me?
Yeah, Maiyegun, how are you?
I am very well. Oh. Now I think I understand why that last caller didn't hear me. I muted my microphone. So go ahead. I think people can hear you too. How are you, sir?
I'm good. I'm doing well.
I know.
Yeah. What is happening in Iran and things that are happening in Nigeria, the intervention of Trump, you will not actually blame Trump for some of these actions he's taking, even though it seems that it violates some sovereignty of such states. Let's use our own country where we know very well. If you look at what Nigerian government has done to the citizens over the years, no rational leaders will hold his two arms see a citizen being killed in hundreds of thousands every day from north to the east to the south. You are in UK here, I'm in UK here.
Hello?
Even a dog, if you kill somebody's dog, you go police for it.
I did. Yes.
Dog.
Absolutely.
If you kill somebody's dog, okay, let me tell you something that you will shock some people that be hearing me.
Right.
When my wife joined me in UK here, you know, back home, when we see cats, we say now witchcraft.
I know.
One cat just ran, I think that's very good she came. The cat just ran around our window. She took stone, wanted to stone the rat. And the cat quickly held on. I said, this cat get Peter. You go police station.
Hey.
Do you understand?
I do.
I said, you know that. If you stone this cat, you see, you get Peter. You trouble with people. So you don't deal with the animal like this here, you get their right here.
Yes.
Do you understand? That is how this government take the life, either it is animal or human being serious. Understand? We have all seen how on a daily basis in Nigeria, you wake up with one bad news or the other. Do you understand? I told you in the past, I lived in Jos for 9 years. All my 9 years in Jos was in fear until I left again. So you can't continue to live and say, okay, we're just talking now. I think it's the last 1 or 2 days now. I think it was last week they killed 10 people in back life.
Right.
And I saw them, they are begging another thing again. These are the ones that come to the general public group. You understand? These are the ones
how about those ones that they didn't even report?
They didn't report. And it costs almost all the things, everything. How can you call those leaders responsible? When people say that Trump is violating some of the things, if they have put their house right, Trump wouldn't come.
Right.
During Jonathan period, people were looking that Jonathan was not doing well. It's not as bad as this.
No.
They went for campaign on the way. They are going to brought terrorists in Nigeria. They alluded to it, and they use it to destroy Jonathan government.
That's right.
And now becomes so low. Even though the government, if America should take all of them away, I don't care. For what value is gold if you cannot mine it? We say we have government. Okay, look at it. We have National Assembly, both the lower house and the upper house. Have they sitting one day to discuss about this security, how people are dying every day in Nigeria? No, they will not do that.
No.
It's what pleases them. See how they were so very, very, very vigilant in doing this electoral because all they know is to affect them as an individual. They know if they do it right, none of them will come back to that house.
No.
They have to look all means to ensure that they put a clause that will make them to rig elections and come back.
Yes.
See the kind of tenacity, the kind of energy they put into it. Have they put it into anything?
No.
Imagine the Congress in America now investigating the killing and wanton destruction in Nigeria. Where is our leader? Where is our leader? So that's why whatever Trump is going to do in Nigeria, I don't care. Forget about what people are saying and the rest of them, because if our Yoruba said, if he did not, if we refuse to be trained at home, outside will train you.
That's right.
Understand? And that have refused to do what is right. If any other government that come and violate that international treaty and deal with them, I don't care. But not as we said earlier, there is little America can do. The bulk of it rests on us as a nation. If we will come up, look at what happened in Abuja. You see, I told somebody that if somebody wears clothes, a white gown, and they wrote angel from the APC tag on it, I say, if na me, I will not even believe it's an angel. I'll still look that person at APC, I will run away. Imagine that APC get votes in Abuja.
I know.
Abuja that was even stoning, they were after weekend life and the rest of them. They still get votes in Abuja.
They did.
They told that the APC will say, that's why they manipulate the one or the other.
They rigged, they manipulated, but there were thousands who actually came out to vote for them, no doubt. Yes. Yeah.
So how do you look at this period? Look at the somebody who is putting his life on the ground for everybody. Somebody is not poor, understand? He can feed himself, he can take care of himself.
That's right.
You understand? Putting his living on people are still blaming him. Some Nigerians are still blaming him.
Yes.
Some want to stone him.
Yeah. They are threatening to kill him. Yeah.
On the ground for you. Some Nigerians are threatening him.
Yeah.
This is how bad it is.
I know.
So when you look at it, you know that the people, they are not serious. They are not ready for change. Understand? In the quest for change, the inevitability must happen. There must be shed of blood. That one is normal. Even right
eventually,
from the Bible days,
I know.
Now, there must be bloodshed. It is better to the world and Quran and everybody who holds this than this killing every day. All what that happened in Kwara State, what did the government do?
Have you not seen what has been going on in Kogi, Kwara? Yeah, in the last 2 days.
So this has happened. Look, it's no longer in one place again now. Initially, it is northwest, northeast. Now it has generated to northwest and it goes to southwest, southeast. It's going everywhere. At a time, this is what Ramsey was telling Nigeria then. People hated him for no just reason. They are still letting him where it is in Kano prison today.
In Sokoto. I know.
In Sokoto. These are the you told the people the time will come, you don't have freedom of government anymore. These people will take over. I think exactly what is happening today. And the nation, people are still waiting there. They are not ready to take their destiny into their hands. Understand that this particular post of Martin Luther King, he said that most slave masters voluntarily allow the slave to be until the slave demand for it. And demanding for freedom, there will be a lot of inevitability. There will be death, there will be destruction of property. That is one and for. But Nigerians, we are not ready. Because we come to the social media and make. I was talking to somebody last week. He said people kill them. I said it's because you don't come a large number. We have Abuja. Let's say we have 10 million people in Abuja. We say let's demonstrate. You only have 500 people come out of 10 million. So how do the government will go over? But you have 5 million.
You are even talking about 5 million, but about 5 million is too much. Make just 100,000 come out. 100,000. If you see 100,000 heads, no soldier, no military go suddenly begin to shoot them.
How many people soldiers want to kill? But instead of that, you only story and you understand? Talking of opposition in Nigeria, the opposition is dead. Understand?
Absolutely.
Somebody said that they only have APC and Peter. The Peter office is a part on his school.
Another delulu.
Yeah. And so after anybody who advised Obi to join
ADC,
he advised wrongly. Because you see, light and darkness cannot be together. You are attacking. It's not possible. And look at it again, you discover that, look at, maybe you are the test run of this AMAC election, or that time you now see the division among them. And I don't know why Obi. It's not a prophecy. Obi will not be the balance of power. I'm telling you.
I know.
He will not be the balance.
I know.
Because from the look of it, you will not win tickets of PDC. It's not a prophet of doom. And what has happened now? I saw looking for the ticket.
I know.
And you know, Obi will not be the one that Obi say, we say Nigeria is corrupt. For him to come and give money is aiding and abetting corruption. He will never give money for anything.
No.
And there are people who are ready to billions of naira to be a presidential candidate. And I told some people yesterday, I think we'll bring no last in the ballot, which will give room for expressway for Tinubu for 2027. So these are issues. The people should rise up. They kill, everybody go back home and sleep. No civil commotion.
I mean, look at the Iranians themselves. Look at thousands and millions of them on the streets in different cities, and others who are supporting them in other parts of the world. Look at the numbers. But people we're not ready now.
We're not ready. You know, when I was in Plateau State, we have 17 local government in Plateau State. Then there was a very serious killing in Basa. Then I was still working in government. I was talking to some group of elders that I know they have voice. I say, let's cause what we call civil commotion. Let's block all the entrances of Plateau State. No going, no come up. The government responded. You know, the first thing I want to go and report to the government that I'm working in the cabinet, I want to destroy the government. I say, it's because you are promoting that security. If you are going out to security following you don't know what other people are doing. There are families of 7, 8, 12 people, nobody survived in that family. And you are still not talking of the same government. Of what value is that government? If the government cannot save the life of the people. Okay, everything said, the governor now says to go join the center so that you will have access and power to the center. And they are still killing the people.
That's what I don't understand. Same thing in Adamawa, same thing in that same Kerbio, right? But I mean, the one in Bauchi is yet to join them. But the same killing is going on there. It's going on in Niger, where people are already at the center.
And these 10 people think that have been buried after that Chong was burying them. I think yesterday or today. And people then.
No, he buried them 3 days ago. He buried them yesterday as well. Yeah, it's almost every day now.
We have 70 local governments. Everybody cannot say enough is enough. Block all the roads, no going, no coming out until the government responded. When they do that once, I'm telling you, I remember what happened sometimes ago when I was here. They kill people so much that they carry the corpse into the car and took the government house to Plateau State. Along, they escaped along through the back gate that year. That's how powerful it could be if they really wanted to decide. But as happened in Barcelona, the only Barcelona people will be money. Other people, they will be going on their way doing their Christianity.
Until it happens to them again.
Civil commotion, no movement, the subsistence, nothing is working. No place is working. Everything until government responded. We will do that and we'll stay for 1 week. Government in center will respond.
Thank you so much.
They know them.
Thank you very much. You have a very, very wonderful evening. I love all those, your points, one after the other. That's class. I mean, I think it worked. So you two can call in if you have the studio number. Let me see if I see it on my screen. I have it here now, like it's like scrolling. So I'm going to call it out just once, okay? And yeah, I actually hope that was very clear enough to hear the audio of both of us right there, right? So the number is +4477 069 22 321. Again, +4477 069 22 321. You can try that. Usually it's mostly on the screen if I was broadcasting straight from the the studio setup. So yeah, thank you very much to those of you who have been here. I'm urging you to please like the broadcast now if you haven't already. It's just a reminder, okay? What's the second part? I've been picking up on your comments and all that too, okay? And so far, so good. Everybody seems to agree that we have useless people in charge of government who are meant to be taking care of the victims, their own citizens rather, all over the world. Unfortunately, they tend to be more interested in politics back in Nigeria, and until it is practically maybe too late. See, let's see if I can get this. Hey, give me a sec. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Hello there. And Wednesdays, is it Polapenga or Innocent Obi? Give me a cycle.
This is Pola. Yeah.
Yes, sir. It is Polapenga. How are you, Baba?
Yeah. I'm doing great, Baba. How are you and family?
Well, we are surviving too. Thank you very much for asking. I should be asking you that right now. You have been through a lot in the last 2-3 years of your stay in that place. You have seen a lot. Somebody like you can actually sit and do a 60 minutes experience interview with somebody like me to tell us what it's been like in the last 2-3 years. But this latest one, right? What's going on?
I can do up to 90 minutes on a book interview.
You get what I mean? Like somebody like you have experienced all of it, everything up to this moment. When the rocket started falling and the city of Dubai in UAE, my mind, this is why I'm actually doing the broadcast. Okay, I'm like, I've got friends, I've got viewers from all these places, right? I wouldn't mind to know how they are currently managing or coping. If the government has been reaching out, the embassy and all of that stuff, like it was during the COVID, we had similar conversation, remember?
Yeah.
So what's going on in Dubai?
General,
yes, sir.
First of all, I will still appreciate Dubai government, mainly Dubai itself, Sheikh Mohammed.
Right.
You know, it's 7 states. UAE is 7 states.
Right.
But the most popular, even most people think that Dubai is a country. But Dubai is just a state.
It is.
You know. Do you know that if not for the ideology of Sheikh Mohammed, the ruler and the crown prince of UAE, the ruler of Dubai and the crown prince of UAE, there will be too much debt. There will be too much debt. Yes, because last time they attacked Iran, that was I think last 6 months or so. Iran threatened to blow up US embassy in Dubai and in Qatar. Right. So unfortunately, they ended up blowing it in Qatar, but Qatar countered the rockets.
They've got their own defense system to catch some of them, yeah.
But this one that happened recently, believe me, Iran, their leader was dead. After it was confirmed dead, Iran was mad. They were
exactly.
Mad. Iran is also powerful, So Iran sent 700, if I'm not mistaken, 695 missiles, ballistic missiles to Dubai.
Alone?
Yes. I have the message.
Because I heard that the total rocket they fired in 24 hours after the confirmation that Ayatollah has been killed is tens of thousands.
Yes.
Like tens of thousands means it could be 20,000, it could be 30,000, it could be 40,000 rockets that they were sending all over the place. So Dubai connected 700.
No, I'm not true. I'm not going to say. Ballistic missile alone in Dubai, 695. Then Sheikh Mohammed and they were able to pull down to counter 645. So only 10 landed.
Right.
Airports, in the hotels close to Burj Khalifa. Because their main target was to bring down Burj Khalifa, the tallest building in the world. And Sheikh Mohammed is prepared. So he countered 645. Only 10 landed successfully. Then the Iran fired 300 of rocket launcher, 307 something again. The first one was ballistic missile.
Right.
This one is rocket launcher. And at the same time, they fire to Saudi, they fire to Qatar.
Kuwait, Bahrain.
They said these three countries is supporting USA. You know, Dubai is the world tourism full of foreign investors. So there's no how Sheikh Mohammed support Iran. If Sheikh Mohammed support Iran, American citizens that is investing here, they will pull out all their money, and it will affect the country of Dubai.
Right.
They have to protect their customers and their investors. And again, they have been sending warning and signal to Iran for how they are ruling their people, they are killing their own people, you know, because of their excess of Islamic and all those things. So, out of that anger, Iran exploded everywhere. I'm telling you, even they successfully brought down Israel flight in Israel airport. They brought it down.
Yeah.
About 20 people was killed. Then several people injured in Israel. Iran gone mad though. Iran,
and they are still firing the rocket because Israel has currently been reported, right? They are not also backing down because they are, like Trump also announced, okay, this afternoon, right? He said that they are penetrating deeper and deeper into Iran, taking out structures, taking out some of these their rockets, rocket launching sites and all of that. But Iran says America will never know all of their launching sites ever, and they will never run out of rockets. Even if they are shooting every day, they said if they are shooting 10,000 every day, they will not run out of rocket for the next 50 years. I know that's an exaggeration somehow. However, they are not backing down. That's the point I'm trying to make. They are not changing, and it keeps on. So those of you who are in Dubai, like you said, you have told us how the government have done so well to catch some of this rocket. But for Nigerians generally, what is the conversation like among yourselves in the last 48 hours? And then the government of Nigeria, have you heard anything at all? I want to know.
Let me skip one more point about the UAE and Iran, and I will go to Nigeria.
Okay.
You see, this time we were sleeping because of my duty. I start very late, then I will just have to sleep a little bit, you know. Then we had this rocket launcher. Everybody in my area have to open their window. People were scared. It was very low to human level. But you know, all these things have their target. So this one didn't meet the target. But I don't know where it went to, but it's around this UAE. I am telling you, even my in-law, my wife's brother working somewhere, they have to shut down their company and evacuate everybody in the accommodation because it was really, really, really massive.
Like I saw videos where people are recording the rocket flying over their estates or something.
Do you know that the Maiyegun? Do you know that this moment, none of Nigeria or minister or governor has even done a video to say, we have brothers in Dubai, in UAE. I've been waiting for Arizo, for Channel, or going maybe Twitter handler to see. See, this moment, no, not even Tinubu, not even his chief of staff, not even minister, not even minister of Interior, I don't know the name of that man. Nobody. Nobody has ever asked, how are Nigerians doing in Dubai? We have people in UAE. It's like we are forgotten here. They forgot about us here. We are our own.
So there's no official communication with any of you, like an emergency text that comes from the embassy to alert Nigerians that listen, if you are in danger, call this number now. Nothing like that.
No.
Oh God.
No. The only emergency number we received was from a UAE. They sent us alert, warning alert.
Right.
Then some area, they send them emergency alert. They ask them to leave their houses and gather on a pitch, football pitch.
Right.
So in case they target, there will not be
residential areas. Yeah. I wanted to ask that, UAE, like many of these Western world, you have all these high-rise buildings. And most of these high-rise buildings are occupied by mostly, workers, people who are doing different jobs here and there, families, okay? So, and if any of their rockets becomes, because I've seen where they have targeted residential areas, right? So that's another thing. But you just said it now that there is already warnings from government where people have to come out of their buildings and stay in the open, right?
Exactly.
Is there anything?
The missile that killed the spring leader of Iran. Do you know what they call G2 bomber? this USA and the newly acquired the one they built by themselves.
Right.
B2 bomber. If it is on your head, you will not know. You will not know. So they said it has been on the airspace of Iran for more than 2 days. So USA now sending someone, you know, like CIA and other people, but they were not armed, just to draw out their spring leader, the Iran leader, from his bomb. You know? So, like, they come for peace talk, they have come for dialogue, they come to discuss peace talk, not knowing that B2 bomber is on the airspace waiting with 900 ballistic missiles. 900. So, the moment they throw him out, then the US delegate, CIA, these guys undercover, they have to take cover. Then the B2 bomber started releasing 900 was what killed this man. Now, if you see the building that he was living,
and they say it is bunker penetrating bomb. So it's a bomb that once it drops like this, it goes in like whoo. Then when it gets inside deep underground, that is when it's going to now explode. It doesn't explode at the top. It's right underground. So
the level that is there. They killed over 50 Iran leaders. 50. So Iran is going to be much stronger. Iran like war. They are ready for war. They love it.
But we are getting reports, like Donald Trump just said, that they have destroyed their navy, destroyed some of these assets that will take like decades to rebuild. You get what I mean?
Trump said all these things out of overconfidence. But
you think so?
Trump now, he said that the war will last 4 to 5 weeks.
Then we'll see how that. So, but right now, there's not too much worries among the Nigerian communities in UAE, to the best of your own understanding. Or have you heard anything?
No, the Nigerians here, we are safe. You know, Nigerians everywhere. But there's an area Nigerians are, like Diara, Satwa.
Right.
Then Abu Dhabi. Yes, but Nigeria is also everywhere. We live everywhere.
Right.
So we are safe.
Okay, that's fair enough to hear. And you keep staying safe, please, okay? Because, I mean, we understand that sometimes the situation that chased us out of that contraption seem to just not leaving us. Everywhere we go, there's still always that. But like you have just pointed out, you have a responsible government, a responsible leadership where you are. So therefore, you even feel safer with all the information they've provided for yourself and your family in that place so far. So, well, that's really good to hear. I hope I'll hear from people from Kuwait, Bahrain, and all that before I round it up this evening. But thanks for sharing that.
There are over 70 government cars in Dubai distributing food and water. You know, normally, they used to do it, but because of this war, they have double it now. They double it. They double it because of the war. Because many people is trapped in the airport, some trapped in accommodation, no job. You can't go out. That's not to go. Because Iran will target the very populated areas, like Dubai Mall. Yes. Like the missile they fire on Sunday, they brought down one top hotel in Dubai. Close to, like, community away to Busharifa.
Right.
They captured. So we are safe. We are safe.
Amen. Amen to that. Thank you so much, Polapenga. And stay safe, Baba. Nice one. And you too. And you too. So that's Polapenga, ladies and gentlemen. Give me a sec. Yeah, Polapenga. Somebody just spoke to us from UAE, from Dubai. And it's been, I hope you heard all of that, by the way, because it's not really connected directly to the camera. Okay, so a quick reminder, if you haven't liked this broadcast, this is me reminding you now, you can help me like it. Okay, let's see. So you can like the broadcast, and just before we round it up tonight, and thank you so much as well for being part of it as well. Thank you. Okay. Now let's check. Let me check rather, not let's check. It's like all of us doing that. So I'm trying to see if I miss any comment, question, or what have you. Okay, and I can reply that. Okay. Here, one Jesus. I honestly pray and hope war ends soonest. I watched the Indian's Prime Minister addressing the Israelis parliament and pledging his support for Israel. Other allies may come in as well to take sides. So people are already taking sides. You are right. UK says we are going to be playing defensive, which means wherever Iran is firing, all the weapons or whatever that Iran is firing at the American bases or British bases or whatever in that axis, Britain will work with America to neutralize those things, but they are not going to fly to Iran to carry out any deeper penetration in Iran. So UK is not going in to bomb Iran, but they will be there to stop Iranians' rockets. That's what but Saudi Arabia has officially joined, by the way. So China is being reported to also moving their own aircraft carriers and all that into this Persia Gulf, the Gulf of Persia, So meaning they are also preparing to enter the war, something that a lot of people believe China would never dare or try. But you just never can tell. Russia is still fighting Ukraine, so Russia is not going to be physically involved in any of this, so you can count them out, okay? So France is not telling anyone if they are joining or not, but Macron announced that he has given the go-ahead to the French defense to develop more nuclear heads, and they are no longer going to share that information with the rest of the world anymore. That means you would never going to find out how many nuclear weapons France possesses and all that. But again, it is all developing as we speak. Donald Trump is yet to talk about negotiation, even though people are saying that they probably are going to be doing negotiations soon, but Trump is not saying anything like that. In fact, from his last broadcast, where he called what they are doing in Iran right now, Donald Trump called it Operation Epic Fury. And their job is to finish Iranian leadership totally. And if that position remains the same by tomorrow, then there could be a lot of changes, right? In who joins the war and on whose side. This was Trump earlier today.
Again, the richest, most powerful nation in the world by far. But the only reason we enjoy the quality of life that we do and the freedom and security is we have done things that others are unable to do. But it's because of warriors who are willing to lay down their lives to do battle with our enemies. And they do battle better than anybody. An Iranian regime armed with long-range missiles and nuclear weapons would be a dire threat to every American. We cannot allow a nation that raises terrorist armies to possess such weapons, would allow them to extort the world to their evil will. We're not going to let it happen. We're not happening to us, and we're not going to let it happen to others. The United States has the strongest military the world has ever seen. I rebuilt our military in my first term. There's never been a military like we possess. And frankly, there's nobody even close, but we are now using that military for good. We want to have it for good purpose. We're undertaking this massive operation.
I'll come back to you, Trump. Let me answer Word of God Outreach TV. Yeah, I have seen the video. I even posted it on Maiyegun's diary, Politico, where Asari was talking about American soldiers, and he was actually threatening them. He said, if there is any American soldier that comes to Nigeria to come and take Ijaw oil and give it to the Igbos, those American soldiers will die. Every American soldier there will die. So that's, to me, that's somebody who is suffering from mental problem. But in Nigeria, right, like the Yorubas would say, and it's a two-way thing, okay? You look at him as somebody who is suffering from some mental disorder. I don't know how he became so obsessed with the Igbos, right? That America says they are coming to kill the terrorists who are killing Christians in Nigeria. Asari Dokudumb is now blaming the Igbos for that. So what concerned the Igbos with Ijo oil? The Ijo oil that the Ijos have no right to. As we speak right now, even Asari Dokudumb doesn't have any right to the oil. Other people are actually taking the oil from that same Niger Delta, and he knows them. So from where to where is he going to like start saying that he's going to kill American soldiers because they are coming to take Ijo oil and give it to the Igbos? Like, what kind of madness is that? So that's the way I saw it, and that is the way I still see it. He's somebody who is suffering from this mental disorder. However, he is in Nigeria, the country with over 70% of the population reportedly to be suffering from mental disorder. You know that, right? More than nearly 80% of Nigerians are said to be suffering from one madness or another. So Asari Dokudombi is practically one. And he's doing all of this on purpose. That's the second part. That makes him a criminal, inciting the people, spreading hatred, misinformation, something that doesn't make any sense, using the social media to spread that. America wants to come and collect Ijo oil and give it to the Igbos. How? Are they going to chase the Ijos away from their land and then move the Igbos there to start living on the land and be taking the oil? When they are oil producing states themselves, they've got the same crude oil that you have in your Niger Delta. In case if you don't understand how the crude oil actually flows, they have it in their land too, and they even have more. It is the it is the region with the highest deposit of a liquid natural gas. The second in the world, I think. Imo State of Nigeria. So what is wrong with people like that who are always going to try to twist things in a way to weaponize it for their tribal, ethnic, baiting and the rest of that? So that's the way I see Asari Dokudumb. It's unfortunate. Now, those who are saying that's a direct threat to the Americans, and I wouldn't be surprised if they actually have his name with them too. You and I sometimes may, we may not be privy to some of this stuff, okay, until it is indeed declassified, like Dr. Agbede will tell us. Recently, we saw the names of those tagged as sponsor of terrorism in Nigeria, as well as promoters of Sharia and blaspheming laws in Nigeria. They mentioned Kwakwanso. We don't have the full list yet. I would love to see the full list before I can tell if the Americans have something on him or if they have been monitoring him too. Americans know that he is a gun runner. Asari Dokudumb do this gun running of a thinking, right? And he knows the gun runners too. So whatever that means in the scheme of things, right? Time shall tell. So Asari is not helping himself, but time shall tell. Zionites. The problem I have with the government is that they protect these thugs because of future elections when they will need them, sadly. So, Ade Williams, make that guy no travel. If they travel, he knows where he always go to. So, Remy, is that how to pronounce it? Remy goes, Ifanye Duru, Mr. Duru, Asari is backward. Every Igbo land has oil and gas. I don't know, like, what kind of, this is 2026. You can easily just grab your phone and just go and search for some things, right? Before you go public and begin to talk ignorantly. Let's see, if I have to like tell you, you should know anyway. There's barely any part of the southern part of Nigeria that doesn't have either crude oil, liquid natural gas, or any other sort of like major rare earth minerals. There is practically no part of southern Nigeria that doesn't have all those things. Lagos State has crude oil. Ogun State get crude oil. Ondo State get crude oil. Do you understand what that simply means? If you pick 3 out of 6, if you go to the eastern part of Nigeria, Imo State, partly they have crude oil, and they also have the deepest, highest, or biggest, or largest deposit of liquid natural gas in the entire Africa. Put it that way, right? Abia State, they have their own crude oil. Anambra State partly have their own crude oil. So, talking about crude oil, I have to say, it's so dumb, it's so stupid for people to actually in 2026 and be talking about our oil. Nobody controls any of these things. Even the Igbos, they have their own crude oil, they have their own gas, and so many other things right there. They know, and the reason why they want Biafra, they know that even the Igbos don't control them. The owners of Nigeria controls them, and they give it to whoever they pleased to be the landlord, managing it, making his own billions, blood money, and then continue to keep everybody in that impoverished state. What are you talking about? Our oil. In 2026, they want to give our oil to the Igbos. What are you talking about? That's somebody who is so ignorant, illiterate. Now, I mean, with confidence, people who are so ignorant in 2026. You're talking about Kolimani. That's the name of that borehole that Buhari dug in Bauchi, and they said they discovered crude oil. They said it has 500 billion barrel of crude oil. Or more. They say for the next 300 years, northern Nigeria will see the drill crude. They will see the drill crude oil. But we all know that somehow that doesn't look like crude oil. Whatever underground pipe they laid there, spent 2 billion naira. They found water in a borehole. Say it's very hard to see water in the desert. But somehow they were looking for oil for 3.5 years. Then they fooled themselves. They call it Kulmani oil. People said if to say northern Nigeria is the one that owns the Nigerian crude oil, they would have Nigeria would have broken up long time ago. They would have formed their own country. Now they've got Kulmani that is going to give them crude oil, gas, and all of that for the next 200 years. They're no pom-pom. So I'm just telling you that if you look around very well in this day and time with modern technology, discovering the crude oil at your backyard is the easiest thing if you are from the southern part of Nigeria. Do you understand? From that line, from that river Niger like that, pull them like that until you get to Benin Republic. At the back of, what do you call it? Oyoigbo, you realize that, no part that will tell you that they don't have DS. But what is the point? The crude oil that you don't have access to, you don't benefit from. What is the brag about? What is your, then saying it with confidence, foolishly saying that America want to come and collect Ijo oil and give it to the Igbos? Like, what are you talking about? What is he talking about? In Scottish show. They say, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? You're just talking rubbish. So that's why I said Asari is, Asari not mental. And except for the fact that he's been able to have his own audience, where the audience that he sells is hate and divisive rhetorics too, unfortunately. And he is also a king. That's how you're going to know that a lot is so wrong with that place, unfortunately. Now the full Bara made him king. King Asari Dokudob Amayanambo of something. That's what they call him. Amakri Amayanambo of something. That's why he's fooling himself on social media, Anyway, Where are we? I mean, where were we? Let me see if I have missed anyone's. Okay, DKNY. Trump is little occupied with this Nigeria problem is a little problem for Trump. Well, until it becomes a major problem. So, brilliant. What have I missed? Infidel. Even Northerners got one of the most expensive mineral resources, californium, in Sambisa forest. As Al Mustafa said, okay. So Northern Nigeria will be okay if that contraption breaks. Again, if we have to take his words. So it simply means that in 2026, if you are a Northerner, you should no longer believe the lie that if Nigeria break up, Northern Nigeria will suffer. You cannot suffer if you manage to get hold of your criminal leaders. That Nigeria will break up and the southern part, be Biafra, be all these things will enjoy. No, they are not just going to enjoy you. They would have to fight the criminals who might want to hijack their countries or their regions for themselves, like they have hijacked everything in Nigeria. So they would have to fight them. If not, there will be no difference between Nigeria and any other countries created out of that place simply because they have resources, simply because they have crude oil. They have, no. People would have to reject what they rejected in Nigeria. They have to reject it in their own country. So, like what they accepted in Nigeria, they have to reject it for their countries. And that's how they are going to possibly turn around whatever resource or resources that is buried under their lands for good, for prosperity, for progress, and the rest of that. So it's not just going to be like you break up now, everybody's now going to be enjoying the oil money. Now, take a look at the South Sudan. South Sudan is like that of, when Sudan was still Sudan, right? Sudan was like Nigeria. They have Northern Sudan and Southern Sudan. So Northern Sudan was considered as the biggest because of the deserts, like Northern Nigeria. So the rulership of the country, Sudan, fell on Omar al-Bashir during that his own coup. And his coup succeeded, right, simply because he was able to cater for the interest of the Islamic jihadist leadership of the north of Sudan. For 22 years, he reigned as a dictator. He did all he wanted, But for that 22 years as well, the people of South Sudan, they kept campaigning, advocating for the freedom of independence of South Sudan. People died. They fought war. They fought and fought and fought until Omar al-Bashir fell. When the government of Omar al-Bashir fell, the northern oligarch at the time, they couldn't really hold it together. So just a year or two after that, they granted South Sudan independence. They got their independence. Guess what? That was the beginning of another phase of generational war among themselves because of sharing of resources in their country. Now they own their crude oil. They own all of those things that used to be that of Sudan. But South Sudan is now the poorest, the most wretched new country in the world today. No thanks to Dubai, because even UAE is accused of funding the Janjaweed terrorists who continue to help fuel the division among the South Sudanese. All for what? Because of their resources. So don't get me wrong. It is great to demand that we need autonomous regions, we need our own countries and all of that. You have to do more than that. Our crude oil, everybody can enjoy. If to say that, no, it's not going to work like that. If you allow what you allowed in Nigeria to play out in your new country, you are just going to be talking about your resources. At the same time, you are going to be talking about the poverty that comes with that resources. And then you begin to tell yourselves that maybe these resources are even causes. Maybe they are causes. Because we don't understand. We thought when we leave Nigeria, we're going to be our better country. But what is going on now again? You cannot use the same complacency that you are using in Nigeria today, right? You cannot use the same complacency to run a country if you finally have yours. So some will say, why don't you just stay in here and fight it? I'm not saying you shouldn't stay and fight it. Okay? It is almost the same spirit. But we have discovered that even if you fight for something right now, you bring somebody who understands the contraption and they act nice, because it is like barracks. Okay, government is like barracks. Government comes, soldier comes, soldier go. Barrack remains. So Nigeria is a place where the good things somebody puts in place for some time can be turned around within like minutes, and they can turn your world upside down. That's how it is. There is no, policy, sustainability, or whatever. I don't know what they call that. I've said too much, have I not? So anyway, thank you very much, everyone. I am already rounding it up. So I like it. I mean, I like this. Let's be having these chats once in a while. I wish you have more of it in March. Okay. So if you see my camera pop up, I know it's strange. It looks so strange. Like I just look so tiny now. But you know something, right? I can always be picking topics that can interest you, like catch your fancy, and then we can talk about many things. I would talk, and if you feel like talking, then you call the studio, and you had your own voice too. Okay, so thank you very much for your time. And hang on, I think I just see a missed call there. I am going to give it a shot and see if that caller calls back. It's because I wasn't paying attention. I was almost like a rounding up. So let's try it. Here, can you hear me? Okay, hang on. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, brilliant. And I can hear you too. So everybody can hear you.
Well done, Maiyegun. Well done. Good job.
Baba, thank you.
Continuing to enlighten our people.
Thanks, Baba.
And I particularly like the last one you just dropped now about the resources. You know, it's unfortunate that it's only a place like Nigeria that are giving people like that Doku dump or whatever.
Asari Doku dump.
The opportunity to it's only in that place that people like that can thrive, you know. Because he is not even ashamed that he's living at the expense of the people that he claims to be a king over, or he claims to be fighting their freedom for. Look at him, he's living in the midst of squalor. Posting online, showing his house, showing his resources, showing his
the opulence.
You know, the opulence in the midst of squalor. And yet, how many more of those people that is king over are living in poverty and squalor? In fact, I don't even want to. It doesn't have any mention.
You get? I mean, 2026, Baba. Somebody is still talking about our oil, like about 2026. What are you talking about?
That's why you said it times and times without number. Look at Japan. Japan is the third largest economy in the world.
Yes.
What is their resource? Their human intellect. South Korea, what is their resource? Their human intellect. You understand? And then, you know, it's just unfortunate. Maybe the reason why I continue to eulogize somebody like Pao, you know, is because he was taking us on that trajectory with education. And if he had continued along that line, if that system that
had been sustained, though.
You understand? The result will just be an added blessing. Those resources will be an added blessing. Till today, our human intellect, our human resources in Yoruba land is the greatest resource that we have for ourselves.
It's been.
But like you rightly said, those resources can be a cost if we don't know how to manage them properly within ourselves.
Tell them.
Look at the US, for instance. We know that the white people are not the original owners of the land. It belongs to the indigenous people. But they've been subdued. But the reason why the owners of the land are not crying or shouting today, or are not even fighting to wanting to take over their land,
like wanting to go to war with them anymore,
it's because they among those indigenous people in the US can go and find out. Even in Canada here, they've been able to pay restitution to them. People like Asari Dokubo in Niger Delta, instead of sharing the resource
for it to go round, or institutionalizing those resources, those benefits, so that it goes round even beyond the current generation. That is why those indigenous people are not fighting back. Because those resources have been, the benefits that should have gone to one man, to one warlord
to some few individuals
has been institutionalized.
So you can never privatize it anymore.
Those indigenous people have endowments where if these people want benefits, they have this. In fact, they've been institutionalized. But you give it to one man who claims to be law, who claims to be, and then will come and rough shot over the rest of them. And I mean, it's just unfortunate where we have today. But that's why I continue to suggest that because that foundation, if you are continuing that trajectory, we would have been maybe somewhere like we'll be rubbing shoulders with Japan, rubbing shoulders with the. I will continue to. We need to go back to that template, that our template.
Well,
yes, it was Pakistan politics, but if he had stayed out fair without all this speaking and all this, Nigerian politics, I mean, it's just unfortunate that I don't know why
politics happened, and like you've rightly said, these men did their part. That is why I broke down this idea of autonomous regions. And I want those who are watching, because I know I've got a lot of elderly people who are watching who knows all of these things. And if we have all these younger ones who have been brainwashed that this idea of people running their own affairs in Nigeria is no longer tenable, it's no longer possible. We want to tell them that it is possible. The reason why it's going to be impossible is what you just said as well, right? Where individuals have been allowed to go on. Sorry.
And again, more importantly,
Baba.
More importantly, see, all these excuses about we want to keep continuing to blame the West for our wounds and
I don't buy it. No.
Because the reason why I won't keep blaming them again is because at the end of the day, it is up to us as the people. The West, they know they have their own system of democracy, they have their way out there, and they know within themselves that elections go on in the US, you can't influence their politics. No. Election go on in France, you can't influence. They know it's a no-go area. When you tell them that it's a no-go area, that fine. I mean, this is our country. You sit down on the negotiating table. We talked about it, I think, a few days ago. Yep. You come on the negotiation table. You want our resources. You understand? After all, these resources, they know how to use it better.
That's what I'm saying.
They don't know how to use it. But pay a fair amount for this
and
resource.
take them.
And take them, and then we also can learn. I mean, all these things, it goes back.
Like, why don't you use that technology to develop them here too? Take the one you need in your country, but we want you to actually process them here. Transfer that knowledge so that we can develop our own resources for our own benefit. But we don't have right people in the position of leadership who thinks this way. They don't.
That's right.
They are always interested in their 10%, 20%. And you can do whatever you want. Unfortunately.
That is why America, you will never find a traitor. Even if there will always be a traitor. Even if somebody wants to betray, you will find that majority will speak out. You understand?
Yep.
They will speak out. But I mean, it's just there's so many problems to. We know it's a lot of problems. We can't really pinpoint it to be one problem, but it's just the foundation values are broken. Everything is broken.
We'll keep enlightening our people and let people understand that they should own their own choices. So nobody should pretend that they don't know what is going on. And out of that, ignorance is why they made some certain choices. Purpose of conversations like this is to deny people the opportunity of denying the truth. And then once they support what is wrong, they turn around and claimed ignorance. Like, I didn't know in this day and time, people, I think ignorance is a choice. What do you think?
That's right. I mean, you're absolutely right.
Because nobody can claim not to know what is going on. You only don't know what is going on because you want to not know what is going on. You get, but we'll keep pushing it, Baba. Thank you so much for your time, okay? Enjoy the rest of the afternoon. Nice one,
I will. Thank you for all you do, Mike.
And thanks for the support, Baba. You have a good one. So my time is up. I do have somebody on the line again, but let me not deny them if they make it. Hello, can you hear me?
Hello.
Hello, sir. You should be able to hear me, I believe.
I can hear you clearly.
Okay, you. How are you doing, sir?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can, and I bet everybody else can as well. So, but can you hear us?
No.
Brilliant. So the line may be a little bit dodgy. Yeah, go on, sir. Yeah, you're online. You're live, rather.
I just want to speak to what the last speaker said, where we're talking about. I don't see that to be feasible.
Okay.
And let me try and see if I can buttress.
Please.
Nothing comes for free.
I'll tell you something, but for some reason, right, your line keeps breaking. And we are missing some of the valid points you are making in between.
Oh my God.
I know, but let's try it again, okay? You wanted to buttress what he said, and then you wanted to clear some of the points you disagree with it. You said, yeah?
Exactly. No, he's actually playing.
Right. Oh my God.
We're having the issue. Oh my God.
I know. Yeah, it's so crazy. I don't know. Maybe it is the network. I'm glad you are trying to call back as well. So let's try it again. Let's do this again, okay, and see if it works. Can you hear me?
Is it better now?
It should, I pray. But you continue. I'll tell you if it is. Oh, no, it's not. Sadly, it's not. It keeps breaking as well. And if you take a minute to pull the video back, the YouTube video on your screen, you're going to get what I'm saying. All right. Let's see if you can fix that, Baba. Try it again, okay? Yeah, yes, sir. So somehow the line keeps like going back and forth though. 75 and okay, I got that. And I am already like rounding it up. It's like almost 2 hours. But I want this caller to have their own shot. Hopefully it works this time. Let's try it. Hello, sir.
Is it better now?
I pray. You keep talking, sir.
Okay, I think it's cool. Probably should be better now.
I think it is better, yes. So hopefully it stays so.
Yeah, I just want to touch on certain things the other caller
Please go ahead.
Talk about.
Mm-hmm.
When they were saying things like sharing stuff to do with all these Western world, it's really not going to work. Because if you look at there are certain things in life you really have to be dogmatic. You have to probably even put your life on the line to get it. I have my examples. If you see people like China, who shared any technology with China? Nobody.
Well, they stole some of them, allegedly.
I mean, thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. You made the point. And it's not a feeling. Certain things have to be in place. The infrastructure. Because I can't get the whole knowledge. I can't know everything, know how to research, go to the research institute, have all the knowledge on how to build a rocket that goes into the moon, and you don't have the infrastructure in Nigeria. How am I supposed to actually exhibit what? It's going to be hard.
It's practically not like impossible, not even just hard.
It's impossible. It's only impossible.
It's going to be
you
impossible.
Look at China actually, this is what China did. They deliberately sent in their citizens into the whole Western world.
They did.
Into the UK, into Germany, into Canada. The people of Chinese, they sent them out of the country. Just whatever it is, I don't know, maybe they put a gun to their head and said, if you go, your family is gone.
You have to come back. Because you are deliberately sponsored by the state for that mission and you have to come back.
Exactly. You're deliberately sponsored by the state to go and acquire this knowledge.
Yes.
While you're out there, what is China doing? They are building infrastructure.
Yes.
They are keeping the country safe.
Mm-hmm.
They are putting in certain things in such a way that and this was back in the Western world, they are starting the information. Okay, if I'm coming back, this is what should be in place. This is what I'm saying. This is what you should do. This is what you should do. This is what that is what will make me feel safe. That is what will make me have the opportunity to exhibit what I've been able to learn in the Western world.
That's right.
But what are we having? And apart from that, it's not just because in the Chinese, in the school here, they don't stay. They don't.
They don't. No, they don't. You have to see. You actually really have to see. If you see any of them working in NFM outside their country, they are also there for a purpose.
Exactly. There must be a purpose.
Yeah.
Look, in the US now, they stopped selling land to Chinese.
I know.
I think they probably have not stopped. But what I'm trying to say is, I think they're actually looking slow to the Chinese. Why? Because they know what they're actually looking for. They want to actually situate themselves in certain areas where they can actually do what?
And dominate.
Technology. At home. So if you do not want to steal technology...
But you know something, Baba? You know something? You know something? I don't know when the whole plot was lost. Again, we are living on old glory. Every time we are making references, okay, about what has happened in Nigeria and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Somebody mentioned Awolowo. The last caller was talking about Awolowo's vision and how they put things together. Similar visions, right? If you remember, Awolowo, Okpara then, even Ahmadu Bello and the rest of them, right?
Yeah, even Ahmadu Bello.
These guys acquired foreign education on purpose. They were sent to go get them.
Have you heard Ahmadu Bello speak?
Baba, I tell you, all these older guys, all these Buhari and co, you know. So the point there is that there was a time that such idea of going outside to acquire this knowledge, so that people who are sent out are meant to come back to come and reciprocate or apply all these ideas in their own country or even localize it. But when did we lose all of that? Because damn. So that was the moment. Because Nigeria, all these regions, right? All these regions, they had scholarship programs for their citizens, even when they didn't have so much money. There were scholarship that people were being sent outside Nigeria. People were sent to Russia from the west, from the southern part of Nigeria, to go and acquire. Baba. Ajaokuta in Kogi. That's a Russian technology of that era, of the 70s. Nigerians were sent there, they were trained to operate that plant. Then corruption killed it. Only for those knowledge to now be used in America, in Britain. All those people are older people now. They have to leave with that knowledge, paid for by Nigeria.
They have to. Most of them actually came in when they realized the whole thing is the whole country is actually going astray. What would they do?
They left.
They went back with whatever it is they've learned in the Western world. I can't stay here.
Damn.
So if people are not really, the country is not willing. The people are not just weak. Because it has to be a state-sponsored thing. An individual cannot just sponsor the person. Have to go to the United States, acquire the whole knowledge, and steal some secrets. It's not one of what. It has to be a state-sponsor.
It has to be.
North Korea, they have an institution just for hackers. Not to steal
just hacking,
into their country. State-sponsored. Chinese have the same thing. The Russians have the same thing.
They do. There is no country that doesn't have some of these things that are fully funded by the state, because they needed to know what the other countries are doing.
The only one we have is the government
spying on citizens.
They don't even know what is going on outside. So it's a tough one for. It's unfortunate that we just found ourselves in this kind of situation. It's going to be so hard. There's so much. And when we were talking about handing over to the young or to the youth, who do you want to hand over to? Is it the ones that
this youth?
Is it the ones that are dancing on YouTube, dancing on? I just look at the whole thing. I said, Tinubu should rather be there. You should be someone there. We don't have serious people. They called them for protest. How many people showed up? We didn't go up to 100 that showed up. We didn't go up to 100 and want to chase this idiot out. How? No food there. These idiots are dancing all around that you're even fighting for them. They're fighting for two factors. Look at what they're doing to show Warren. Single-handedly, look at what that guy is doing.
They want him dead, you know. They still want him dead.
And they not even the state, because if the state had wanted killing, they would have probably done it.
They would have done it too. But citizens.
It's the citizens now that are fighting him. So I don't know. I don't even know where to start. Sometimes when I look at this whole thing, when I go on social media and see this whole thing, I said, Tinubu should be there for 100 years because we don't fight so serious. We don't even have to do it because if you get there, the same people will be the ones chasing you around to kill you. So how are we supposed to even come back home with all that? My good, I was in, I drive trucks.
Right.
I was in somewhere in Pennsylvania. And I got this place. I went to pick up. What I actually went to pick up is raw material for making chocolate.
Right.
We have the cocoa, and I did the other thing. I think it's actually the cocoa. So what I just did is just go and pick it up and deliver it somewhere.
So another point.
I got there and I engaged where I was actually, there's a shipping and there's a receipt. I'm shipping. I was like, what do you guys do here? They said, we make chocolate. I said, is it different from, because there's another chocolate that they call it Hershey chocolate, somewhere in Pennsylvania too.
Right.
And I said, and what's the difference between your chocolate and Hershey chocolate? He said their own actually tastes better, structure actually,
right.
Sell himself. And I said, where did you get your raw materials from? He said, we get them from Africa. I said, okay. Just from Africa. He said, we get from Bolivia as well. I said, where exactly in Africa? He said, we get from Ivory Coast and we get from Ghana. Guess what? They don't buy from Nigeria.
Why? Did he say why, or they just don't?
I choose not to ask him because I know the reason. We have an unstable country. We have an unstable country because if Nigeria had been part of it, I guarantee you Nigeria will be the first country he's going to call. I don't know Nigeria in this world.
I know.
He said, we get our raw material. He said, the best we could get from West Africa. I know Nigeria is actually part of where they could get the best of the country.
It should be. Ordinarily, it should be.
If they buy from Nigeria, probably if they're buying 50% from Ghana, they're buying maybe 50% from Ivory Coast. They probably buy like 5% from Nigeria.
From Nigeria, like insignificant number.
If you look at it, with this you that go into the bush to farm cocoa, with this idiot carrying AK-47 around,
hunting and killing.
Into your farm, destroy the whole thing. You don't throw fire into your after investing millions of naira, even millions.
Scary stuff, man.
And you expect so when I looked at the whole thing, I just like, I don't know if we're going to survive. Maybe a lot of people want to come back home. A whole lot of people.
I think we have to. We really need to work and motivate on that and let people realize that. Go on.
I don't even know where to start from. A whole lot of people want to bring back their money home. But where did they start from? I keep telling even the white. I tell you, even the white people want to bring that money.
I know. They just needed that sign that shows that there is a government and there is a country. Baba, do you know the plausible thing that if Nigeria should, this is imaginations now, okay? So imagine what it's going to be like, if Nigeria should be able to have the ability to elect their own leaders to start with, because that's where the credibility comes from. You get me now, the legitimacy. That the whole world witnessed an election where people actually says, man, this is credible, and somebody is elected, accepted and respected, and they begin to do the right thing. Do you know that the real people that are that can multiply Nigeria's, in quote, Nigeria's prosperity, they are us, tagged Nigerians, all over the world? Because you see, if we can be remitting over $30 billion into people don't even understand the significance of that money annually. The reason why some of their the reason why their hospitals are still working and some of these supposed services are still turning on the lights, a lot of people don't understand the significant role of the diasporans in all of this. Okay.
Oh my God.
So if we sending money for project this, money for pocket money, this, money for house rent, money for school fees, money for hospital bills. All this money being sent in a year, running into tens of billions of dollars. Imagine if the country is working. Do you understand how much billions these Nigerians can pull in a year into that country that they are going back home?
You know how many people have told Black Americans have told me, like, I want to go to Ghana and go and
they are already doing it. I've been seeing them in most places, relocating, finding, buying lands.
They'll say, what about Nigeria? I don't lie to them. I said, my country is a dangerous place to go to. I don't lie. I told you some time ago, my uncle, his son was actually working with someone that has one of these Pizza Hut? So
right.
my man had
the Pizza Hut.
So he died. So he now willed it to my uncle's son. And he started making money. So he called my uncle, said, Daddy, I go on YouTube and I see a lot of people building house in Nigeria. He was born here. He has never been to Nigeria. He said, I want to go back to Nigeria and go and invest. But probably he's seen banana and things like it. Are you okay? Are you okay? I'm from that country. I never invested a dime in that country. You want to go to that country? Do you know how many people have actually discouraged people?
In that sense. And it is not coming out of you see, people need to understand that this kind of position that people are making is not coming from the position of hatred, though. It is coming from the position of fear and love. Something that you practically don't want to happen to people you love. Same way you don't want them to happen to you. Go on, Baba.
In as much as they keep refusing, they feel okay, they don't want to do everything by themselves. It will never work. It's still going to be the same people outside the country.
I know.
They'll come and pick them. Do you know
I
how
have to
many
pick up this.
Israelis stole from America?
Yeah.
There was a man they actually caught sometime in the 70s. Some friend that they actually freed him. That was in the prison.
He's in prison, yes, for spying, for picking. They said most of the Israelis, nuclear aids technology, they took them from America,
Exactly, most of them were actually being stolen. So America is the same Israel. The Christians are worshiping, and they are doing only a down. That they feel okay, they cannot do wrong. So it's a long way. In fact, it just needs someone to just come and do a holistic overhauling. And it's not going to work. It's not going to be possible because
nobody can do it without the people wanting it. That's the position people need to understand as well. People actually need to want it. You know something? People need to say, you know what? We are done with this. We want this. So whoever emerges as their leader then would have no choice but to do what people want, and it will succeed.
Absolutely.
So what do the people want?
It's a long way.
Hey, Mama.
It's a long way.
It is.
Even the people do not want. Because the
They
people
don't.
People have tried. People have tried. My people have tried to motivate these people, but they're not even ready. They just want to be as busy.
They are tired.
They
I know.
to remain where they are. They are even tired. And you can't even just get tired in situations like this. If you are tired, what should we do?
You know?
People will be way more tired than you are because you are eyes back home. If you don't get serious, we don't get serious. Because the only people that is going to fund whatever it is that's going to happen in that country,
it's just the people right there.
So
no one is coming to.
Whoever is going to rescue Nigeria, forget about it. It's going to be the people.
Nigerians must be willing to be rescued. They must want to be rescued. So that nobody's going to do abracadabra and change things. Forget it. People actually must want it. And when you want it,
Nigerians are everywhere. When you talk about the auto industry, talk about the space, flying rockets into the moon, talk about where they make
what field?
Where they make drones. Nigerians are everywhere. They want to come back up to share those technology.
Exactly.
Where is the foundation? Where is the what do they call it? Where is the
it is the infrastructure, the foundation where they can come and build on. Where is it?
Exactly. Where is it? Is it the same people that will come back home and you try to even teach them
your corrupt ways, Baba?
And drink hypo, and they'll rather go and meet them. They'll rather hype Tinubu that is actually suppressing, destroying their. Look at you know how many people protested, but also from this war. I'm never in favor of the war because if you come to think about it, we have the Sunni with Syria, The
Yes.
Shia is actually the Iranians.
Hmm.
Now ask yourself, how many Americans the Shia has been able to kill in the 20 or in the last 50 years? How many Americans, how many Westerners were being killed by the Iranians? Now ask yourself, how many Westerners were being killed by the Sunni? Think about the Saudi Arabia now. Think about the World Trade Center. It's the Sunni.
What about these guys in Syria? That one is even so recent.
So I'm now wondering how Americans will just go and start attacking again. I used to be a Muslim, then I became a Christian, now I'm in between becoming a Christian and becoming a
Bless you.
And now I don't even know how they actually got to that conclusion.
That they have to take him out. I know.
I still don't know.
It's America. It's your country, brother.
I'm African. I'm African. I just want to be concerned about my African, my black.
As it should be.
People want to be concerned. That is their own. They should settle their scores. That is
Thank
their
you. Thank you so much.
Around in the northern Nigeria, they should go to hell. They should put them on a plane. They should go to Iran and
go there. I have never seen the Iranians. And God bless you so much as well for this contribution. I really enjoyed it. You are one of those who made the evening more interesting, okay? And I appreciate this, Baba. You enjoy the rest of the evening, okay? God bless you, Baba. You have a good one, okay? Indeed, it's quite interesting, right? That we could turn this, our Maiyegun live chat, into broader conversation in that sense, okay? So I'm going to see you another time. Enjoy the rest of your evening. And remember, right, you can still like the broadcast if you haven't already. And I am going to see you again another time. So it's going to be a good night from here. Lababs, the African Walla, and the rest of you, Ade Williams. Charm. Good night.